Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 22nd. Been a pretty interesting week. Some interesting messages for everybody, so we'll see what comes up for you this week. Also, I can't breathe today. I don't know if you can hear it, so please bear with me as I try to take deep breaths all the way through your reading. But yeah, definitely very interesting. It's like one of the first weeks in some time where everybody has had kind of like unique messages, except for the Four of Spades. Four of Spades keeps coming up for like everybody. But Nine of Hearts, card of wishes, getting something you wish for this week, being able to make a wish for something that you want at this time. Very interesting card. To me, it also represents like a corkscrew going up, as I always say. Nobody ever knows what I'm talking about, but anyway, it's like a corkscrew going up, and it can represent love cycles. And you know, a corkscrew goes up, and there are like 2 points on this corkscrew where the screw goes up. Basically, it can represent repeating cycles as well, if that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe someday I'll draw it so people can understand my crazy visions and thoughts. But definitely an interesting card. It can also be a card of kind of like a dream coming true. It's like that type of wish, something that you've always wanted happening for you. Not only that, can represent newness. I always say nines to me are cards of newness, cards of new things entering into your life, new opportunities, new chances to do things. So I think that, you know, represents a good time for that. And let's see, also can represent somebody popping into your life as well. You do have the Jack of Hearts, which could represent an admirer coming in for you this week, and this can represent one of those moments where you like see somebody and they catch your attention, and it's like you either do something or you don't. And this card says you need to do something. You need to approach them, smile at them, wink at them awkwardly, whatever. I don't know. Whatever it is that you do, but you need to do something to catch their attention. Next, you have the Five of Diamonds. Again, very similar, coming off of that Nine of Hearts. Good time to start something new. It's a card of happiness and success, like being very happy. It can also represent a change for the better, new, better things coming in for you at this time. It's considered a very fortunate card. It's also a very good card for birth. It can say that if you are giving birth this week, or if you're pregnant this week or something, that, you know, it can be very fortunate for your child as well, which is kind of an interesting message for you, I have to say. But it's a very good card, and it can also represent, like I said, a good time to start new things, relationships, businesses, jobs, and things like that. Again, next you have the Eight of Hearts. Eight of Hearts, you know, represents shared interest. Somebody also being interested in you. So again, if you see somebody, then, you know, chances are there's a good chance that they are definitely interested in you with this card. Also, there's no surprise here. This card is, I haven't read for Pisces yet, but I could almost put money on the fact that this is probably going to show up for Pisces as well. I think that this card represents needing to socialize, needing to get out there, needing to meet new people, and needing to take advantage of meeting new people. Also needing to work on your social skills as well, needing to practice talking to people. I think a lot of people need to do this. I think a lot of people need to practice talking to people. I've talked about this a little bit a while ago, and I've talked about how like I randomly talk to strangers now all the time, and the things that I have been able to create, the relationships, the opportunities, the business, like all sorts of things. It's crazy just by talking to strangers that I meet. I walk on a trail up here every single day, and I made so many friends and met so many people just by opening my mouth. And yeah, it feels weird, but at the same time, like I said, I could go on for hours about the benefits of opening up to people. When I moved out here, I made it a point to do that. And I think people need to start doing it. But the other thing is that what I've realized is the awkwardness of people, and you know, I think people have forgotten how to have a conversation, and so definitely something to think about. This is a card of talking. Like I said, it's a card of talking to people, talking to random people, and getting benefits. But maybe it's also something to work on. You know, to me, with Jupiter and Libra is all about personal development for me. Maybe it's not like, you know, exactly that in the astrology, but, you know, intuitively, I feel like Jupiter and Libra is about personal development. So something you can work on is learning to talk to people, learning to have a conversation, learning to listen, and things like that. So definitely just something to think about. Next, you have the Six of Spades. Card of improvements, incremental improvements, as I always say, things improving in your life in general, getting better, and kind of like moving forward in a step-by-step like kind of pace. I think you've had this card a bunch of times, if I'm not mistaken. So that could make sense for you. This is it's kind of like a Virgo card. It's like very structured and kind of has to do with all those sorts of things. It has to do with structure, but it has a lot to do with, it's a card of like even like government and things like that, like dealing with anything involving government organizations, the office, airports, things like that. and having to be kind of very structured this week. I'd say probably also if you're traveling this week, could be a good week for you to be, again, to use your structure, to use that structure to travel, to make sure things go very well. Other than that, it can just represent needing to clear things out of your life so that you can move forward. So definitely also, again, something to think about. Next, everybody has had this card this week. I wouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people have had this card. It's a card of recovery is the word I was looking for, and needing to recover. Now that I think about it, I think that it's really a card of people needing to update, again, skills. I think that's what this year is all about, maybe even on an intuitive level. And I'm sure you're all sick of hearing me say it. So, but definitely keeps coming up in the readings. And I think people need to focus on things like more on things like self-amusement, amusing yourself more. If you notice, like I laugh a lot in the readings, I say crazy stuff and it cracks me up. So, but I think, because this is a card of like small worries, I think, and again, this has to do with conversation with people too. I think people have gotten too serious. So needing to get less serious, needing to have more fun in your life, and finding out what makes you fun, what makes you have fun, is interesting. Next, you have the Jack of Hearts. Like I said, could be an admirer, could be a water sign, could be a Pisces, which is typical of Pisces and Virgo, right? Which is, I think can be a good match for sure. But this is a card of an admirer, could be anything, somebody who's interested in you. It definitely seems to be love for you this week, and it can also be a card of just, if you're already in a relationship, it can just be a card of affection from the people around you, friends, and things like that. And finally, you have the Two of Hearts, definitely the card of love, finding somebody who you're interested in, finding a perfect match. Definitely seems to be love on the table for a lot of you, especially if you go get it. Like I said, Eight of Hearts, you gotta go socialize, you gotta go learn how to get it. If you're not interested in a relationship, is what I'm trying to say. It's just a good card for matching up with something like socially, or like a business or a friend or something like that makes you really happy. So definitely some weird messages, very interesting. So thank you and enjoy your week.